Hello everyone, my name's Dave. I also go by the in-game name of Hannibal, and this is a video about Ark Survival Evolved. Specifically, we're going to take a look at a boat that I've built here using the vanilla settings on the server, plus a couple of mods. There are two key mods that went into building this boat, and I just want to give this as an overview. This is not going to be a tutorial or a build guide in any sort of way. The server here is probably going to be wiped either next month, certainly 6 months down the road it will, and I just thought I wanted to record this build for the future in case I ever want to go back and build it again on some other server. But if you're a potential builder in Ark, I think you'll find it a bit interesting to see what you can do with a couple of key mods installed on the server. We are here on the Castaway Resort private server. It's a PvE server, and it has the Crystal Isles map, which where I'm at, you can't get a real good view of the fact that it's Crystal Isles. There's some crystals there on the hill, and I've got everything kind of in the way here to just get a good shot of the ship. But it's a very nice map, very interesting map. A lot of thought went into it. It's about 85% done. So this is PvE. The Castaway Resort is a really good server with some terrific mature people and some admins who really do a good job of keeping tabs on things here, making sure the server is up and available, making sure it's up to date. So a shout out to the folks on the Castaway Resort server. Okay, the two key mods that are involved in building this are the Structures Plus mod, also known as S Plus for short. It's a very popular mod. And the Advanced Rafts mod, which basically allows you to build larger rafts. Very good, very helpful. The Advanced Rafts mod comes with some sort of canned out-of-the-box ships, some pirate-sized ships, some galleons, some smaller things, but they're all basically raft skins. You can't store anything in them. They manage and steer just like a raft. They look good, and you can climb up on decks and stuff, but you can't really store things underneath. Not very useful. So I decided to build one similar to one of those designs, but out of vanilla pieces, S Plus pieces, and Advanced Raft stuff. So let's take a look. The sun is just coming up here, so I wanted to get a little bit of a semi-dark view of the ship to make it stand out. Hopefully the light gets a little bit better, but as my experience has shown, the minute the light gets good around here, it decides to fog up or start to rain or something like that. So let's see what happens here. All right, so I've left the ramps attached to my ship rather than coming up with some sort of quickly deployable way to get on and off this thing. I don't know what you do for doors, or there's no drawbridge pieces or anything. But I just thought, well, you know, if I take off a railing and I snap down a couple of ramps and make them line up with my docks ramps, it'd be pretty easy to get on and off. And this is PvE. I'm never in a hurry to escape something so badly that I need to quickly, you know, jump on a ship and you know, removing those rafts. I would have time for everything. I'm going to start quick here though with the dock. These dock pieces come with S Plus, excuse me, Advanced Rafts. These dock pieces, you see I've got a little light on there. I love these lights at night. They're real nice. The dock pieces, I'm going to just show you in the water. They go down a ways, but by themselves, not all the ways. This is one dock piece is each one of these. You see how far they go, but you can continue to stack them. When you stack them, you don't get the flat platform. The legs just continue to go downward, and in theory I could go all the way to the bottom here with those. I just haven't tried it yet. I don't see any sense in really doing it, but people have been using it on this server to make water pens. If you can go all the way down and block things off, then you can make a nice dino water pen, and so that's pretty helpful. So I thought I'd at least mention these dock pieces. Okay, now let's back up and kind of take a look here. Now you see I got the cannon sitting on the side. It's got 16 cannons on board. The Advanced Rafts mod comes with, I believe it's 3 different size, maybe it's just 2 different sized cannons, and then there's the big size from the vanilla game. So we've got some cannons on board. You can see that I've angled off the front and angled it upward. I had to use some ramps here. You can see some vanilla ramp pieces. But also I've used these triangle shapes, and this is a good view of just one of these triangle shapes. This comes with S Plus. This is a triangular foundation. It's solid all the way through. Pretty nice. And I've used stacks of those to help angle things on top of some triangle shaped wood ceilings that come with S Plus. Now you see a little thatch coming out here. That was a mistake that I thought it was more trouble to fix or possibly cause damage if I tried to fix than to just leave it. I was placing some stuff and thatch got in there by mistake, and since these are solid pieces and I was stacking them, I didn't want to remove any and worry about some falling. Now these pieces are stackable, these S Plus foundations. That is so wonderful. You see a full stack of them here. It's really nice. Actually, I think those upper two are walls. Yeah, there's 2 walls there, and there's 2 stacked foundations there. So the stacking of the foundations really is helpful. A wonderful feature of the S Plus mod. And see, of course, it's, even though it's what, 10 a.m. or so, I'm guessing, 9, yeah, it's starting to cloud up. Never fails. So let's see. One of the other nice features of this, let's see if it works today, is this anchor. You barely see it here. I'll jump down in the water in a sec. The anchor goes all the way up to the anchor point on deck, and you can retract it, but it's like an all or nothing thing. You can't retract it to half height. You can only retract it all the way up or all the way down. Now, I wasn't able to climb it for quite a while, and I'll explain why in a minute. At least not all the way. No, I don't want to pick it up. Come on. Let's go here. Climb. All right, let's see if I can get up there. All right. Today I can go all the way. Fabulous. It has been fixed, I think. I'll explain why in a minute. But you can travel up and down this thing. So that's helpful. But in case I wanted to get off from other angles, I also put some ladders at various points. There's one on the other side too, so I can get on and from being in the water, you know. Every now and then I'll miss the dock and fall overboard thanks to lag and rubber banding. Now, the reason I said that, you know, this I might not be able to climb that is because what I've done with the underside of the ship. Since, even though this is PvE and there are no leads on this server, there are still creatures out there that can damage wood, right? So I don't want to take this boat that I've spent so much time building and take it out there and get it slaughtered by some creature. So how do I protect the underside and the lower side, the side that's right out and above water level? Well, S Plus has these pieces called glass pieces. You can see here, glass foundation. You can't see it. That is because they come with certain transparencies and abilities. For instance, here you can adjust all the different sides. I'm going to put all the sides back. And you can see this glass floor actually has a transparent floor, but then the sides are metal. So with this select model feature, you can make certain sides appear and disappear. You can just play with it any way you want, or you can turn them all off. And I haven't played with the transparency itself here, and I don't know if you'd even see it if I did it now. We'll give it a try here. But you can change the settings to make it opaque if you wanted, which kind of looks silly in this situation. You can't even see that. Yeah, so you can play with that. Here's a piece. I'm not quite sure what I did here, but there's some edges still showing. I don't know if I've, it says it's got no sides, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But I left up, so I could see where the ladder is coming out. I left a missing foundation here so that, you know, when the water's a bit dark, I want to be able to see to get up in a hurry. I can go through this hatch frame and back up onto the ship and be driving. Whoops, flip, flip, flip. Slow frame rate. All right, all right. I popped myself into the ship. Didn't really intend to do that, but that's the way it went. Okay, so back outside. Let's take a look at the mast a little bit. I've painted the sails black. The sails come stacked like that as twos as one piece. These 4 sails here. So these are not the kind of sails where you can paint an well, I'm not sure. Maybe you could actually paint an image on it. I don't think so. I haven't tried. But it seems to me that there are 2 sections there, and the game would have to have a slightly different UI to allow you to paint both of those. Now you see some ropes coming off the ship, or what looks like ropes. Those are actually electrical cables that I've used as ropes. The Rafts mod, Advanced Rafts mod, does not come with any sort of ropes or netting, which is a little bit of a disappointment. Close the hatch here and get this out of the way. To do these, once I started doing them, I realized a better way of doing it, of course, and made some revisions. I think it's best, first of all, you got to place a electrical cross piece on the ground first, because the vertical ones have to have something to snap to in order to go up. So there's a vertical piece here somewhere in the floor. They snapped kind of low, so I think there you can kind of see it. But then I ran the vertical piece up. Now, my advice to anybody doing this would be, if you would like to have a ladder that you can climb up the mast in a crow's nest, please try to place or locate where a pillar would go first. I'll get back to this in just a moment, but a pillar will be helpful if you want to build a better mast. So let's talk about building a better mast. I'll go to this one up here, because this one I did not go through with the pillar stuff. I just placed my crosspiece, placed my electrical vertical wire all the way up as high as I thought I could go, and even once the mast is in place, you can still kind of snap it higher. So we placed the mast over and around the vertical cable, and if you take then one of the angle cables and you start, you get on a tear or something, you fly up or you climb up, you find multiple snap points to take a 45-degree angle with these cables and run them over to look like wires. So that's it. Basic electrical cable through these masts, which are one piece, and you can make some nice electrical cables that look like ropes. Now, to add the crow's nest, you had to add a pillar. To add a pillar, you could just, as long as you've located where you wanted to place it first and place the mast, you place the pillar. You can see how it's sort of merged here. The pillar, of course, gets fatter compared to the mast. The mast actually gets thinner as you go up. So eventually your pillar sort of surrounds and becomes your mast. And then you can put a crow's nest up there. My only disappointment was I couldn't put a round crow's nest. There's no piece for that. So I just had to use a ceiling and some small railings. Okay, so you can see I've attached those down to the deck. Now this is also another kind of sail piece that comes with S+. They have several of these triangular sail pieces. I forget what size this is. This is a large, but there you see it says Sail 3. There are 3 different versions of how this looks. So you get some variation with that. Okay, on to what's on deck. Let's keep this going and get this done here. You see another flag. I forget what mod this came with. This is an unusual little flag. Black Castle flag. Oh, it must have come with the Castles and Keeps mod. We have that on this server as well. I have not used it much besides. I think that flag's probably the only item on this ship from that. So I've used some railings here, but made them look like panels in different places to help keep the tears on and looking good. I should mention this wonderful device. This is something that comes with the Rafts mod, and it is an elevator that can only lift about 800 pounds, unfortunately. Oh, it says 700 pounds. And it does lower. My problem with it was that, I started attaching it up here, and there's actually a wheel that's supposed to come with it, a big wheel device, but I found that if I removed the wheel, the thing kept on working, so I got rid of it. You see where it ends up? It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but it ends up a good 6 feet or so above the water. And I mean, that's okay if you're jumping off, but if you're trying to get some dino on here, it's very hard. You can't, they can't jump up unless it's a frog or something. It can't get up. So that was less than useful to me. I wanted it to be able to reach ground level. So unless I come to a steep-sided shore, that thing is not going to work. So I left it on there just because. I don't know. I just didn't feel like moving it. You can see I could put my mast on top of a pillar in order to get it off the ground and out of my face. Now, it's not going to be like nighttime anytime soon, so I can't show you, but you can see a dull glow coming from this candelabra. Candelabra came from the Rafts mod as well, and actually I like its glow really well. It gives a nice area of effect, soft but still bright yellow. We got a map here on the table. Those 2 items also came from Rafts Plus. We got some water barrels, and they got water in them, but every time I put something in them, it doesn't fill up. So these are bugged. I don't know what to do with them. We're going to take a look here. I leave my doors open a little bit so people can come on and explore. Here is I basically made the captain's office. Why am I not able to go in here? I don't know. It's acting like something's hitting me in the head. That's weird. I usually am able to go in here every other day. What's going on? Oh, should mention, there's a sound bug with this map right now. You hear all the ambient sounds kind of stopped. The opening and closing of doors stopped. There's a sound bug with the Crystal Isles right now, unfortunately. They're waiting for a dev kit update. Man, why can I not get in here today? That's weird. Any other day, I have no problems. Maybe there's something below decks that I'm hitching on. So, okay, got in here. You see, we've got a candle and some ship's log pieces. We've got a ship in a bottle. Kind of hard to see with the brown background. But I figured the captain's office should also be a bar. So I've extended it into a bar. Most of these items, the furniture you're seeing is from the Rafts mod, the Advanced Rafts mod. Got a message in a bottle. So I took some stairs up the side and leave those open. It's either have these ramps look like stairs or have these ramps look like ramps. And I like the stairs look a little bit better from the outside. Hey, gee, can I get out of here now? What am I bugging on? There we go. All right, so I put a door with a ladder to go down, but I don't really use it as much as I use this cargo hold. And I know somebody who's put a cargo hold, more or less, large doors in the side of their ship. I think they made it one level taller. I did not do that, did not go that route. I just decided to do this instead, and it's real easy for me to get onto this floor. I like this a lot. So let me start with the first deck here. We just got a little area set up for the snails to keep them in line, along with our dodo farm. 5 dodos here. They give me some eggs, and there is a device called the kibble cooker from another mod called Advanced Structures that you can use any eggs to convert them to generic eggs and use them to make kibble with that. So you don't need a specific kind of eggs. It's a bit of a hack, but I'm a builder. You know, I'm on 2 hours a day tops. I don't have a lot of time to breed and to tame, I should say, to tame dinos. And even when I tame, I mean, come on, I don't have 4 hours to sit around with a tame. I don't have lots of time to hunt down specific types of eggs and stuff. So this helps. They lay their eggs. Here's a wireless collector. I think this is from the advanced mod, and it collects my eggs and my snail paste. Their one ambient sound is back, I see. And so that's my egg collector. And the advanced mod has a thatch processor that works in cooperation with this. Boy, things are kind of jittery here today. Yeah, this is a compost bin that automatically gathers the compost. Isn't that handy? And the thatch processor, you put wood in here, it automatically turns it into thatch. So the compost bin will automatically grab the thatch from there and make fertilizer for me. So that takes a lot of work out of it for me, makes it easy. Here we have the ship's smithy. I have 2 of these lying around. This one I use just to hold all my extra building materials. It's just like a regular smithy, 75 storage items, storage spaces, but it's much smaller. That's fabulous. So here we got our cannons, and the cannonball pile is a separate piece, and all it is storage that you probably want to use for cannonballs. 45 of them. That's pretty handy. I put them out here for decoration, but they do have a use. Each one has 3 cannonballs in it right now. All right, so I haven't come up with a real use for this deck other than to be a gun deck. I put this chandelier here to see how high it would stick, and as you can see, it was pretty much at floor level. So I decided to open the floor and at least give myself some light in that work area. My original intention was to remove it later and clean this up a bit, but I thought I kind of left it. It's so functional, I can't really see getting rid of it. So now down here to what I guess you'd call the poop deck, because I stick the dinos down here. The smaller ones can come down here if I'm going to load up. I don't always keep them on deck. Can fit about 4 or 5 of them down here, squeeze them down in here. We got some beds for respawning. I never really did much back here that I intended yet. Probably won't. Put a few lights here and there so I can see at night. And down here's my main crafting area, where I have sort of a standard setup I like, where it's 3 forges, and then I usually put 4 or 5 of these mortar and pestles in front, and then above I typically put the fabricator if I can fit it, so that I can just lean upward. But I didn't do that in this case. I could put the fabricator way over there. The S Plus pieces, if you're not familiar with them, are a blessing because of one wonderful feature, and that is they have the ability to pull resources from within a wide range from them. So I can sit here and say, okay, I want to grab all, let's see. I've cleaned up most of my dinos, so I don't think there's much elsewhere that I could pick up. Let's say Mayho berries. Okay, I want to pull Mayho berries. So click on that, and I can see, oh, I got 4 different places nearby, including one dino that has some Mayho berries. So I'm going to grab those. And kibble cooker can keep those. Medium crop planter. Yeah, let's pick up from those. Harvesting for my crop planter on deck. So grab that, and they pop into the inventory here. There's a wide range on these. There's some way to... We're under deck, so you're not going to be able to see it, but most of them have show pull range, which creates a large cone around you. And see, I can't even see it here in enclosed space. So they have an enlarged cone. There's a graphic that appears to show you their range. So just a massive range. So if you stick one of these mortar and pestles near some object that doesn't have S+ capabilities, like you know, if I was on deck near this kibble cooker, the kibble cookers don't have it, then you can pull stuff into it, load up your personal inventory from it, and just lean to the side quickly, and then use it to drop it in. So I'm not going to discuss a kibble cooker. I don't want to spend too much time on the individual devices. This is from the, gotta mention this. This is fabulous. The storage cans are from the Rafts mod, and they are like mini fridges that don't get powered by anything. No power usage whatsoever, and you put stuff in, and the spoil rate is incredibly slow, just like a regular refrigerator, and look how small space they take up. This is a large one. There's also a small one that you can get. Just fabulous. We've got some chum buckets, which are supposed to be for you put raw meat in them and they turn to spoiled meat. Somebody here mentioned that they seem to spoil meat at the exact same rate as the rest of the server. In other words, if you just left meat sitting out in some other object, it would spoil just as fast. I have not tested that. This is a grill. It's basically a cooking grate for food, for meat mostly. It's not one designed to produce paints or potions. It's just, you know, basically, what do you call it, a campfire. A glorified campfire. And yeah, that's from a different mod, furniture and decor crafting table. So, okay, so we've got sorts of, this is from the advanced mod, I believe, the advanced items mod. A paint rack for storing all your paints. It just looks cute, and it's a good place to all my paints are in one place. So not much more to see down here. Here's the actual raft itself, the starter raft. And if I pick up the options, you see it's got a horn option, which, thanks to the sound bug, I don't think we can hear. No. Or the bell. Nope, nothing. So much for that. This is from the Rafts mod as well, and it's just basically storage that looks like a pirate's chest of some sort. I kind of like that. Take this up. Yeah, this just goes to the second deck, so not very helpful there. Might as well just run around, head up top for a sec. One last thing I wanted to mention. Oh, now the sound's back up here. So here's the crop plots. These are round crop plots that come with the Rafts Plus mod. They don't take up much space. Very useful when growing stuff on your ship. I do have sort of a tent forward area that I've done absolutely nothing with. I thought about opening up these walls and sticking cannons out at angles. I've seen somebody else do that. But, nah, just not going to do it. Don't see too much of a need to decorate this further. I got interested in it. So this is where I stopped. So I think that's everything I wanted to discuss. So that's it. Now here to a wider view again. Let's go on either side. If you have any questions, feel free to post them. My lens took out something. Now you see the glow of one of the lights here in the slightly darker light. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the YouTube comments. I will happily answer. So that's it for the pirate ship. Not going to take it out and give it a scan. Just wanted to show you the basics. So thank you very much. Oh yeah, how could I give a tutorial on the ship and not mention this masthead? The Rafts Plus mod comes with several of these. I'm going to call it a masthead. That is a wrong term. I know that's the wrong term. This is a poison dragon. It also comes with some other dragons that you can put on there. There's a woman, the bust of a woman that you can put on there. There's a skeleton, I believe, and I think there's a skeletal bronto. So there's several of these to choose from. They, you know, act like heads mounted on walls. You just put them on the front of your ship, and there they are. What makes it look good, a nice finishing touch to the raft. All right, so thank you very much for watching, and I hope you get a chance to play Ark Survival Involved and get to enjoy it as much as I do. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.